Hello and welcome to EduMiles Academy. In today's session, we'll discuss some important newspaper articles from 5th November 2022. For more study materials and updates, you may also join our WhatsApp group. We'll provide the link of the group in the description below. So this is the list of topics that we'll cover in today's session. Let's start. The first article is regarding climate change. So recently it is in the news that a small island nation in the Pacific Ocean called Vanuatu, it has backed a fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty at the UN General Assembly. We'll learn about this treaty through this article. So Vanuatu, you should know, it is a Pacific island nation which has called on the countries at the UN General Assembly to sign up for a fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty, which will basically end all the sorts of new coal, oil and gas projects and phasing out the existing ones. So this, as you can see in the picture, it is the president of Vanuatu, which is a small Pacific island. So he wanted the UN General Assembly to adopt a universal non-proliferation treaty to ban the use of fossil fuels across the world. Okay, so why the president of Vanuatu wants so? So we'll learn about it. Like, what is the reason behind this particular treaty? So this can be important for our prelims and also from GS paper 3 biodiversity and environment point of view. It has been taken from the Hindu. So see, now I'll quickly tell you why this initiative has been taken by this island nation called Vanuatu. So देखिए, बात ऐसा है कि you should be hearing about the recent issues or the menace of climate change across the world. ठीक है, हम यहाँ पे कहते रहते हैं कि climate has been changing throughout the years, throughout the decades. तो climate change जो है, climate change obviously it is of global concern. ठीक है, तो climate change का आप देखोगे एक बहुत important dimension होता है आपका global warming. ठीक है, सो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग जो है, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग इज बेसिकली अ कंसिक्वेंस ऑफ द एमिशन ऑफ द ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस, है कि नहीं. अब ये जो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग है और जो एमिशन है, आप देखोगे इफ यू लुक अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड, सो यू विल कम टू नो दैट द मेजर एमिटर्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड आर एक्चुअली कंट्रीज लाइक यूएसए और कंट्रीज लाइक इंडिया, देन रशिया आप कह सकते हो, ठीक है, एंड चाइना. सो दिस बेसिकली आर द मेजर एमिटर्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. ठीक है, लेकिन अब अगर देखोगे जो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग जब होता है, तो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग ऑल्सो लीड टू द मेल्टिंग ऑफ ग्लेशियर एंड मेल्टिंग ऑफ ग्लेशियर इट लीड्स टू द राइज ऑफ द वाटर लेवल. ठीक है, तो इट लीड्स टू द राइज ऑफ द मीन सी लेवल वी कैन से, राइट. तो ये जब सी लेवल जब राइज होता है ना, तब मेजर जो इम्पैक्ट है इट एक्चुअली बेसिकली इज फेल्ट बाय द आइलैंड नेशंस ओनली. ठीक है, सो दिस इज द रीजन व्हाई वेनेटू जो है इट इज अ पैसिफिक आइलैंड नेशन. सो दिस बिकॉज इट इज फेसिंग द कंसिक्वेंस ऑफ द एमिशन व्हिच हैज बीन डन बाय अदर countries. This is the reason why it has called on all the countries at the UN General Assembly to sign up for a fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty, which would end all the new coal, oil and gas projects and phasing out existing ones. So basically they are trying to basically आप कह सकते हो कि they are trying to take an initiative in which all the countries would basically discard the fossil fuel, which is quite impractical to be honest, because India और आप देखोगे major developing countries जो है, they are mostly dependent on the fossil fuel like coal for meeting the energy requirements. So it is quite impossible at the current stage, but then again it is the first country to call for such a treaty. ठीक है, पहला बार ऐसा इस तरीके का डिमांड लाया गया है. The Vatican, the UN Secretary General and the WHO, that is the World Health Organization, now they have also backed ending fossil fuel production worldwide. Okay, but again I would say that this is quite impractical at this point of time because the number of countries, especially the developing and the underdeveloped countries, में इतना technology अभी strong हुआ नहीं है कि we would completely get rid of the fossil fuel energy. ठीक है, तो देखिए a similar call जो है on coal use was made at the COP26 Glasgow. तो COP26 you should know that इसे basically refers to the 2020 United Nation Climate Change Conference, which is known as the COP26, जो कि ग्लासगो में हुआ था. अब देखिए यहाँ पे बताया गया था कि कोल जो है, कोल का हम क्या करेंगे, फेज आउट कर देंगे. ठीक है, बेसिकली द लैंग्वेज ऑफ द डिसीजन एट ग्लासगो वाज टोन डाउन, फेज आउट. तो ये जो कोल जो होता है, ऑफ द कोल पावर एंड इनएफिशिएंट फ्यूल सब्सिडीज को फेज आउट कर देंगे. बट देयर वाज अ स्ट्रांग प्रोटेस्ट. ऑब्वियस सा बात है, स्ट्रांग प्रोटेस्ट होगा बाय सेवरल कंट्रीज, स्पेशली इंडिया. तो इंडिया, यू शुड नो, कोल इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एंड अबंडेंट फॉसिल फ्यूल इन इंडिया. इट अकाउंट्स फॉर 55% of the country's energy need. So definitely हम यहाँ पे प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे. तो इस प्रोटेस्ट के कारण फेज आउट से यहाँ पे कर दिया था, जो लैंग्वेज है चेंज करके इसे फेज डाउन कर दिया था. फेज डाउन मतलब we will be quickly, आप कह सकते हो कि we will be reducing our dependence on fossil fuel like coal. ठीक है, So आप देखोगे यहाँ पे Vanuatu also urged the global leaders to support its campaign to request an advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice on countries' legal obligation to protect people from climate harm. Basically, they want all the countries to be legally binded by a kind of a document or a kind of a law, so that अगर कोई भी country अगर मान लीजिए कि ज़्यादा emit कर रहा है and if their emission is leading to death or harming of people in different parts of the world, then they would be held accountable. So this is the reason why they want to have a platform. They they want to have a legal binding of all the countries, so that the countries basically act responsibly, आप कह सकते हो responsibly towards the smaller nations, or specifically आप कह सकते हो कि island nations as well. So this you can see on the map is Vanuatu, which belongs to the Pacific Ocean, as I told you. So Pacific Ocean के western side में पाया जाता है, and Australia के east में पाया जाता है Vanuatu Islands. So it is basically comprising more than 80 islands, and it is stretching for around 1300 kilometers. And Vanuatu, you should note, is highly vulnerable to rising sea levels, as I told you, which is nothing but a consequence of the global warming and also intense cyclones. With cyclones, देखिए, cyclones are also a consequence of the rising sea levels. देखिए, because cyclone के लिए low pressure बनना जरूरी है, और low pressure कब बनेगा? The temperature is high. So these are the causes, or these are the factors which are actually leading or pushing the nation, the island nation Vanuatu, to come up with such an agreement. So देखिए इस प्ली जो है, इस प्ली का सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है? तो जैसे कि आपको पता होगा, इंडिया जहाँ पे आप कह सकते हो wherever India finds an opportunity, it always acts as a voice of the developing nations or the underdeveloped world. तो इसीलिए आप देखोगे in the same regard, Vanuatu is also representing the voice of the island nations across the world. ठीक है, whose voice is heard with attention and empathy in the UN, because obvious बात है, there would be empathy from the other countries as well, because they are the ones who suffer in real sense, as the matter will affect the global discourse of climate change. ये जो small island group has gone around seeking endorsement for various quarter, government say, corporate world, and civil society as well, but quite less has been done in order to meet the requirements of these particular nations. The mayor of Kolkata जो है, तो Kolkata, you should know, the capital of the one of the largest coal producing states in India, take that is West Bengal, has lent his voice for its support. So the mayor of Kolkata is also supporting this particular initiative or the call of Vanuatu. ठीक है, now this call for a treaty has started discussions around the issue ahead of COP27. अब मैंने बताया था वो COP26 के बारे में, जो कि ग्लासगो में हुआ था, अब हाल ही में शुरू होने वाला है COP27. There is a conference of the parties. Now the conference of parties 27 जो है, it is basically it's part of the UNFCCC, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, which is known as the COP26. Now this will be the 27th United Nations Climate Change Conference, which will be held from 6th to 18 November. ठीक है, I'll cover about the COP27 as well in the recent time जो discussion होगा यहाँ पे, and this will be held in Sharm el Sheikh, which is in Egypt. ठीक है, so if a majority of the countries at the UN General Assembly, if it gives the IGC, that is ICJ, that is the International Court of Justice, a mandate to act, the court will be tasked with interpreting what international human rights and environmental laws mean for the country's responsibility to act on the causes and the impact of climate change. तो अगर मान लीजिए यहाँ पे जितने भी members हैं, now if they are in support of such island nation, then definitely the ICJ, that is the International Court of Justice, will also be forced to act towards it. ठीक है, और डेफिनेटली वो क्या करेंगे, जितना भी सारा लॉज है, ट्रीटीज है, या जो भी बताते हैं कि हम अभी एमिशन कम कर देंगे, नहीं करेंगे, तो इस तरीके का जो चीजें इसे ऑब्जर्व किया जाएगा, एंड डेफिनेटली द स्टेप्स विल बी टेकन टू मेक द कंट्रीज अकाउंटेबल फॉर व्हाटएवर एमिशंस दैट दे आर डूइंग. The UN General Assembly is one of the few bodies authorized to request advisory opinions from the ICJ, which settles legal dispute. तो ICJ का जो मेन काम है, it is basically to settle dispute between the countries. अब कमी यहाँ पे जो dispute के बारे में जो बताया गया है, it is mostly the dispute between the countries who are emitting and the countries who are suffering on the other hand, right? So what is the way forward? So if you see the unsustainable levels of natural resource consumption and the extravagant lifestyle led by the consumers in developed countries. Now you'll find a number of celebrities in countries like US who speaks about the climate change, who speaks a number of things, how to stop emission, how to convert to green energy. But then again, you'll find that they are mostly attending the meetings, they're mostly attending different places in their own private jet. So this is a kind of hypocrisy which is mostly found in the developed countries. So basically the people, the rich people, the celebrities, the sports person, they are used to this extravagant lifestyle. But this extravagant lifestyle is actually leading to emission. ठीक है, अगर वो मान लीजिए कि जितना भी बात करे about climate change के बारे में, about the combating climate change, about afforestation, whatever they speak about, if at the end of the day, if they're going to places in their own private jet, then definitely it is one of the reasons for the climate change, or you can say it is a major factor of our emission as well, right? So this particular lifestyle जो है, ये lifestyle has to be changed by the people, by the rich people who live in developed economies. And there are other methods to lower world emission besides coal phase down. So coal phase down is not the only option, because reducing coal fired power जो है, it may create several difficulties in securing the progress of developing economies. So for developing countries like India, because you should know that it is an energy deficient country. Now because it is an energy deficient country, तो हमें क्या करना पड़ता है, हमें डिपेंड करना पड़ता है इंपोर्ट में, नहीं तो हमें डिपेंड करना पड़ता है ऑन द फॉसिल फ्यूल्स लाइक द कोल. Okay, so in many countries, even in India, coal is the principal source of energy. I already told you that coal जो है India का energy requirement 55% जो requirement है, it is only met from the coal only. Alright, so more investment in energy innovation and alternative technologies is necessary. तो देखिए, बस यहाँ पे बात करने से फायदा नहीं है कि हमें shift करना है. We actually have to do research and development on the field of shifting to renewable source of energy as well. The transition to a world of lower emission has to be sustainable and equitable as well. The transition must ensure equal access to energy and secure energy supplies for all. अब देखिए, अगर हम transition करते हैं and then again मान लीजिए, if developing countries like India or the other developed countries, if they end up having low share of energy, then definitely it will be detrimental for our economies as well. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए कहा गया it should be sustainable and equitable as well, so that the benefits can be reaped by all the nations across the world, be it developed, underdeveloped or developing. इसी टॉपिक के बेसिस पर प्लीज प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन, प्लीज आंसर इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. The second article is about the performance grading index, which is regarding the school education. So this report, that is for the year 2020 to 2021, has been recently released by the Union Ministry of Education. Okay, so this is basically an evidence-based comprehensive analysis of school education system, किस तरीके से school education चल रहा है across the states and UTs से conduct कराया जाता है, and it is mostly meant to promote policy making and highlight the course correction to ensure quality education for all. Because education, it is the foundation of any country, foundation of any nation. So this is the reason why, to put greater stress on the school education, this particular index has been prepared. Now this can be important for our prelims from GS paper 2. It can be important from government interventions point of view, and also from governance point of view as well. Now this has been taken from the Hindu. So let's see what is this PGI all about. That is the performance grading index. So the government has introduced the PGI with a set of 70 parameters यहाँ पे लिया जाता है, which are meant to catalyze the transformational change in the field of school education. It was first published for the states and UTs. इसे लाया गया था in the year 2019 में, और 2019 का जो रिपोर्ट था तो ये 2017 to 18 के लिए था, और इस साल का जो रिपोर्ट है 2020 से 21 तक के लिए है. PGI is released by the Department of School Education and Literacy. तो आप देखोगे जो डिपार्टमेंट है, it is Department of School Education and Literacy, and this basically works under the Ministry of Education. Department और Ministry दोनों इंपॉर्टेंट है. The PGI is structured into categories में किया जाता है. एक हो गया लर्निंग आउटकम एंड दूसरा हो गया गवर्नेंस एंड मैनेजमेंट. तो यहाँ पे देखिए कुछ डोमेन्स यहाँ पे लिए जाते हैं इन ऑर्डर. यहाँ पे जो पैरामीटर्स है, द पैरामीटर्स आर बीइंग कैटेगराइज्ड इनटू सर्टेन डोमेन्स. तो जहाँ पे बताया जाता है अबाउट द एक्सेस, अबाउट द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एंड फैसिलिटीज, इक्विटी एंड द गवर्नेंस प्रोसेस. सो दिस कैन बी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस थिंग शुड बी रिमेंबर्ड in order to attempt an answer regarding the performance grading index. So let's learn about the significance of the current report, that is the PGI of 2020 to 2021. So ये जो report है, it is basically a unique index for evidence-based comprehensive analysis of school education system across the states and UTs. Basically यहाँ पे यही जाना चाहता है कि किस तरीके से states and the UTs are performing regarding the school education. जो prime objective है of PGI is to promote evidence-based policy making and highlight course corrections to ensure quality education for all. तो यहाँ पे नॉर्मली जो 70 पैरामीटर्स है, 70 पैरामीटर्स के ऊपर स्कोर दिया जाता है, और स्कोर के बेसिस पर बताया जाता है कि कौन सा स्टेट परफॉर्मिंग वेल है, कौन सा यूटीज आर परफॉर्मिंग वेल, एंड ऑल्सो कौन सा यूटीज एंड स्टेट्स आर परफॉर्मिंग पुअर एज वेल. तो इसमें अगर आप देखोगे इंडेक्स के अकॉर्डिंग टोटल ऑफ 7 स्टेट्स एंड यूटीज जो है, नाउ दे हैव बीन एबल टू परफॉर्म आउटस्टैंडिंगली. दैट इज द स्टेट ऑफ केरला, पंजाब. केरला आपको पता होना चाहिए, इट इज द हाईएस्ट लिटरेसी रेट. देन पंजाब, चंडीगढ़, महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात, राजस्थान एंड आंध्र प्रदेश. तो ये जो सारा स्टेट्स है, नाउ दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टेट्स हैव बीन एबल टू कम इन द लेवल 2. ठीक है, अभी देखिए यहाँ पे जो रैंकिंग है, तो रैंकिंग के हिसाब से उनको डाला जाता है लेवल्स में. ठीक है, तो लेवल रहता है 1 से लेकर 10 तक. तो जो फर्स्ट लेवल है, फर्स्ट लेवल पे अभी तक कोई मतलब देयर इज नो सच स्टेट. ठीक है, जो करंट रिपोर्ट है ना, करंट रिपोर्ट में लेवल 1 में कोई स्टेट आया ही नहीं है. तो स्टार्ट हुआ लेवल 2 से. तो लेवल 2 में जो टॉप परफॉर्मर्स है, दिस आर द 7 स्टेट्स एंड द यूटीज, दैट इज केरला, पंजाब, चंडीगढ़, महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात, राजस्थान एंड आंध्र प्रदेश. ठीक है, तो गुजरात, राजस्थान एंड आंध्र प्रदेश आर द न्यू entrants with the highest achieved level. तो last year जो था, last year में already the 4 names were there, but these are the new entrants. So Gujarat, Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh, now they have they have performed quite efficiently in the field of education. Then the UT of Ladakh. So Ladakh अगर आप देखोगे has made significant improvement in the PGI from level 8 to level 4. तो आप जान सकते हो कि जो यहाँ पे level 10 है, level 10 सबसे खराब है, ठीक है. तो ये level 8 से ऊपर आ चुका है ये level 4 तक. तो it has made quite a remarkable progress in the field. So no state, however, has been able to attain the highest level of level 1 so far. Level 1 मतलब the best score. तो जितना भी सारा states है तो level 1 लेकिन किसी को मिला नहीं है, ठीक है. So the PGI 2021 classified the states and the UTs into 10 grades में यहाँ पे दिया जा रहा है 10 levels है, of which the highest achievable grade is level 1, ठीक है. So level 1 जो है level 1 में, लेकिन इस बार में कोई state नहीं है for the states scoring more than 950. तो जो भी सारा parameters था तो 70 parameters में से 950 points से ऊपर या 1000 points के बीच में जिसको मिलेगा वो आ जाता है level 1 में. इतना स्कोर अभी किसी को नहीं मिला है, सो जो भी स्कोर है वो 950 से नीचे ही है. The lowest grade is level 10 and which is for score below 551. So this is particular about the ranking, किस तरीके से रैंक किया जाता है. और इसी टॉपिक के बेसिस पर दिस प्लीज प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन प्लीज आंसर इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. The next article is about the Arunachal and obviously currently the Meghalaya governor, that is B.D. Mishra, who is called upon the CDS, that is Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan. ठीक है, तो we'll look कि क्या बात हुआ है इसमें. So this can be important for prelims and also for mains GS paper to governance point of view. It has been taken from the Arunachal Times. So Arunachal Pradesh governor, that is B.D. Mishra, on Friday he has met the Chief of Defence Staff, CDS कहा जाता है, General Anil Chauhan. तो अगर आप देखोगे ये जो Chief of Defence Staff है, he is at the apex of all the 3 defence forces, ठीक है, and he has shared with him Mishra's, that is B.D. Mishra's observation on the borders security in Arunachal Pradesh. So किस तरीके से security arrangement has been done, because you know Arunachal Pradesh जो है, it has international border on 3 sides. There is Bhutan मिलेगा आपको west में, then China to the north and north east में आपको पाया जाता है, sorry China पाया जाता है north and north east में, and Myanmar पाया जाता है east में, ठीक है. तो ये सारा states के साथ किस तरीके countries के साथ किस तरीके से border को manage किया जाता है. Now this particular information दिया गया है CDS को. The governor said that a good military civil relation, तो civil जो डिपार्टमेंट है, जो authorities है और military जो authorities है, इनके बीच में एक relation important है बहुत ज़्यादा, which have also facilitated the development of infrastructure in the state. Alright, so congratulating General Chauhan. तो इनके बारे में हम आगे भी बात करेंगे. So Chauhan was basically recently appointed as the CDS जो मैंने previously cover किया था, ठीक है. So after the death of General Bipin Rawat, he was the second CDS who have been appointed. On his appointment as the CDS, so Mishra expressed hope that Chauhan would make the Indian armed forces one of the best in the world. He also conveyed to him the good wishes of the people of Arunachal. Obviously, जहाँ पे जाते हैं, he conveys the wishes from the citizen side as well. Mishra also raised the matter of the welfare of the ex-servicemen in different parts of the country. तो जो भी defense forces में the people who retired, तो उनके interest पे भी उन्होंने बात किया है, and also suggested that taking more proactive initiatives for the welfare of the ex-servicemen is quite an important step, you can say, towards their welfare. तो चलिए जान लेते हैं about the post of CDS as well. CDS stands for Chief of Defence Staff. So he is the most senior uniformed officer in the rank, the first among equals. तो आप देखोगे there are 4-star officers in the country. There is CDS, the Chief of the Indian Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. They all have got 4-star. But CDS जो है, he is the first among the equals. The CDS is also the single point of contact for the government for giving military advice, and he is the senior most bureaucrat in the defense ministry. So there are certain information that I have given about the recent CDS, that is about Lieutenant General Anil Chauhan के बारे में. तो इनके बारे में थोड़ा देख लीजिएगा. You should know that he is also a China expert है वो, ठीक है. And after ये जो post है, this post was actually vacant for 9 months after the death of General Bipin Rawat. So finally this post has been filled by General Anil Chauhan. Now, if we look at the highlights about his contributions and achievement of Lieutenant General Anil Chauhan as an army officer, तो आप देखोगे he has been for distinguished service and illustrious service in the Indian Army. He has been awarded with a number of awards. For example, the Param Vishist Seva Medal, Uttam Yudh Seva Medal, Ati Vishist Seva Medal, Sena Medal, and Vishist Seva Medal. The 61-year-old Chauhan is also a decorated army officer and expert on China, as I told you. In 2019, where Indian planes bombed the Jaish-e-Mohammed JEM कहा जाता है terrorist training center deep within Pakistan in retaliation for a Pulwama terror attack, he served as the army's DGMO. So DGMO stands for Director General of Military Operation, which is quite an important post in the Indian Army. So Lieutenant General Chauhan, who is retired currently, assumes command as India's second Chief of Defence Staff. He will attain the rank of 4-star. So he's right. He has been appointed right after General Bipin Rawat. So अगर हम देखोगे about the names of the current Chief of the Army Staff, it is General Manoj Mukund Ravne. Then Chief of the Naval Staff is Admiral Karamveer Singh, and Chief of the Air Staff is Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Kumar Singh Bhadauria. So इसी topic के basis पर the police practice question, please answer in the comment section. The next article is about the memorandum of understanding that has been signed between the Rajiv Gandhi University and also the College of Horticulture and Forestry. So let's look at the memorandum of understanding. ये किसके बारे में? This can be important from our prelims और मेंस के लिए इतना important तो है नहीं, लेकिन अगर मान लीजिए कि कुछ भी क्वेश्चन आता है regarding the promotion of agriculture, promotion of the research in Arunachal Pradesh, तो ये सब examples आप दे सकते हैं. So the current news is that recent MOU, that is memorandum of understanding, has been signed between Rajiv Gandhi University and the Pasighat based College of Horticulture and Forestry. Okay? Now this has been done for the collaborative research in areas of mutual interest. Mutual interest मतलब ऐसा कुछ areas and disciplines which are common between RGU and horticulture and forestry. मान लीजिए for example agriculture and allied activities, तो इसमें जो भी सारा research होगा and areas होगा ना, उन पे काम किया जाएगा by the RGU, by the आप कह सकते हो by the research scholars and the faculties of RGU and the College of Horticulture and Forestry in a joint fashion, in a collaborative manner. Okay. The basic purpose of the MOU is to establish a mutually beneficial stage for growth of agriculture and allied studies. So agriculture यहाँ पे देखिए ये जो CHF है, तो you should know it is mostly based on the agriculture only and horticulture as well. तो यहाँ पे जो studies होगा, it will be mostly focusing on agriculture and allied activities. So it will be a kind of a win-win situation for both the universities, for both the institution, that is RGU and the CHF as well. Now, RGU Vice Chancellor Professor Saket Kushwaha, you should know the name, termed the inking of the MOU a welcome step towards achieving academic heights on mutually benefiting parameters for both the parties. Both the parties यहाँ पे कौन है? एक तरफ हो गया RGU and दूसरी तरफ it is CHF, that is the College of Horticulture and Forestry, and emphasize the importance of undertaking extension, outreach, documentation and sensitization programs on various agriculture related issues. So these were the questions that I had asked in the previous video. Let's look at the answers. So the answers for the questions are: the first one is about the status of the Indian rhinoceros according to IUCN, that is vulnerable. Then if you look at the next question, it is about the largest species of rhinoceros, that is again the Indian rhinoceros only. And Arunachal जो literature festival है, the fourth अभी जो चल रहा है in Namsai में, so the theme is building bridges through literature. So for now, that was all from our side for this session. Thank you so much for joining in. We'll meet the next one. Bye bye and take care.